Hello and welcome to another episode of News from the Gelding. I'm going to show you a film in a second, and it's one I made 12 years ago while I was at art college. It's about a journey on my bicycle that's determined by the amount of energy in just one pedal at the beginning of the journey. I did a number of these, but I think they've been lost on dead hard drives. I think this is the only one I've got. So, yeah, if you want to watch it, it's going to be on now, and I'll talk about it a bit more afterwards. See you in a bit. Okay, welcome back. First of all, apologies for the sound of the wind and the very jerky camera, but this was before GoPros and image stabilization, all of that, so it's quite raw. Also, if you see at the very beginning, you can see the shadow that my bike casts. I had to build a great big rig on the back of my bicycle to film over the top of my head. That was done with just pine timber, so it was quite a heavy thing, but it's all I kind of knew how to do at the time. I know people do all kinds of things now with those little GoPros, but I was supporting quite a heavy mini DV camera, hence the fairly low quality as well. But anyway, that's what I had at the time. Now, so the starting point for that film was a park in Plymouth where I used to live. And as it happened, that park was a fairly high point in that part of the city. So you could travel a fair distance in any direction just by kind of rolling. But in some parts, it's almost flat, but just that bit of energy that I impart at the beginning with that one pedal is enough to carry you quite a long way. So the one you just saw was one of the more extreme ones, so I took it down a fairly steep hill. But I didn't know where it was going to end. That was what I was interested in at the time, is making films that were determined by factors outside of my control. So this was the amount of energy that I had available to me. So to keep that one going, I ended up steering into what turned out to be a school. Luckily, there's no one, I think they're out playing or something, so I didn't bump into any teachers or film any children, luckily. If so, I wouldn't have been able to use it. I did, I think, 9 of those films, and the furthest I got was over a mile away based on that one pedal. But it was quite dangerous. Took a few risks here and there to keep the energy going. Yeah, so there we are. Well, I'm going to try and find some of the other stuff because it appears that I've lost a great deal of my old work on, I've had 3 hard drives that have failed now. I just tried to connect one to try and see if there was anything there, and I can get it to go. I'm hoping I've got it stored somewhere else. So anyway, I'm showing that today because unfortunately I wasn't able to finish the drawing that I promised last week and the week before and the week before that. So that's a bit of a pain. But I have almost finished it. I just didn't want to rush it because it's going to be obviously used as my cover, so I want to make sure it's just right. So yeah, I'll do that next week for sure. I've been playing around with the idea of having a time lapse for this drawing, but because it's on that head-mounted thing that I've made, it's very shaky. So I'm not sure if I'm going to do that or not. I'll see how it goes. But in one way or the other, you will see that drawing being made. Okay, I haven't got a great deal other than that. It's a bit of a cop-out this week, but yeah, things have got in the way as usual, and I haven't finished. The last thing, I'm going to show a clip from my 40th birthday, or it was the day before, or a couple of days before. I'd had a few beers at this point, and it was my first introduction to the Amazon Alexa smart speaker. Didn't quite know what I was doing, and it was quite late at night, and it got a bit loud. Anyway, yeah, I'll leave you with that, I suppose. Right, I'll see you next week when I will have a time lapse, hopefully, of the drawing, and I will talk about the inspiration that directed its construction. Until then, I will say cheerio.
Yeah, see, loves James was obsessed with
Alexa,
love me.
Alexa,
The
maximum volume. Yeah, baby.
oh my god. Yeah, baby.
Mom and Dad the bed.
Turn it down. Alexa. Reduce volume. Reduce volume.
A television shows any content broadcast via over the air, satellite, cable, or internet and typically viewed on a television set, excluding
Alexa,
local news.
reduce volume. Reduce volume.
A television shows any content produced for broadcasting.
Reduce volume.
A television shows any content produced for broadcasting.
Alexa,
Stop.
stop.